I visited a Persian restaurant in Dammam city during lunchtime when the daylight made everything look clear and warm. Kolbeh had been open for only 5 months, so it still felt like a quiet discovery in the city. Its name in Persian language meant a small peaceful cottage, and that meaning came through the moment I arrived. Warm earth tones stood gently under the bright sun, giving the entrance a calm and welcoming feeling. A soft shade covered the front area, so the noise from the busy street faded as I walked closer. Cool natural colors blended with the simple structure, creating a sense of comfort even before stepping inside. Persian patterns decorated parts of the exterior and added a touch of culture that felt authentic and thoughtful. Carved metal details brought an artistic feeling to the doorway and made the place look cared for and personal. Everything worked together so smoothly that it felt like a small cottage placed right in the middle of Dammam city. I sensed a quiet charm around the entrance that promised a peaceful meal. It was the kind of restaurant you would not notice unless you were truly looking for something different. I felt that this visit was going to be special the moment I reached the entrance door. Hi guys, this is Yazan. Today I will take you with me to Kolbeh restaurant, one of the Persian restaurants in Dammam city. I will be ordering several dishes from their menu and I will be sharing my honest review. No filters, no fluff. From starters to dessert, we'll be diving into the full experience. So join me today for lunch and let's discover if this place is really worth the hype. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's give it a try, guys. I stepped inside and felt the warm Persian atmosphere fill the room softly. Soft earthy walls stood calmly beside deep blue mosaic arches that added a cool touch to the space. Tables were arranged neatly with wooden chairs and pattern mats that reflected the style of old Persian homes. A couple of booths were placed along one side with darker tones and framed carpets that looked rich and detailed. The lighting stayed gentle and warm, so the room felt peaceful without any sharp brightness. An indoor tree stood near the center, which brought a natural feeling to the dining area. Persian artwork was placed across the walls and showed scenes and colors from classic markets and traditional life. The ceiling carried long carpets placed carefully as decoration, which gave the restaurant a cultural charm from above. Small lamps were set softly above the tables and created a warm shiver over each one. A clear window revealed the kitchen where the chefs worked calmly behind the glass. The clay oven glowed in one corner and added a homely feeling with its orange light. Colors, patterns, and textures blended smoothly to create a space that felt quiet, comforting, and full of heritage. The menu was simple and clear, which made choosing very easy. Cold starters offered kashke badimjan, Shirazi salad, Kolbeh hummus, and mast khiyar. Hot starters brought dishes like grilled shrimp, lamb keema, and lamb sabzi. Main courses focused on classic Persian grills such as barak kebab, joje kebab, chicken kobede, and the royal sultani kebab. There were richer options like fizinjan kofta and mahija for those who liked slow-cooked stews. Drinks included fresh juices, pomegranate mojito, and soft drinks. Desserts stayed simple with kunafa baklava, saffron crème brûlée, and saffron ice cream. Everything on the menu felt familiar to anyone who loved Persian cuisine, and each section flowed naturally to the next. This is the kashke badimjan. It came to the table warm, which made the aroma rise gently. The service looked rich with creamy kashke resting softly on top. Fried onions added a golden color that made the dish look even more inviting. Fresh herbs and a touch of sumac gave small hints of green and red across the plate. The eggplant underneath looked soft and smoky, which is the heart of this dish. Everything sat inside a black pan that kept the heat steady and comforting. The look alone showed how creamy and smooth the texture would be, which made it feel warm and homely. I used the bread to scoop from the center gently, I took the first bite immediately because the smell was too good to wait. The warmth of the eggplant came through right away, which felt very comforting. The smoky flavor was soft, but clear, which made each bite deeper and richer. The kashke added gentle sour taste that balanced the sweetness of the fried onion. Herbs lifted the flavor in a quiet way, so nothing felt heavy. The texture stayed creamy and smooth, which made the bread picked it up easily. Each bite showed how well the eggplant was cooked, so there were no harsh pieces. It tasted clean and warm, which made the dish feel traditional and simple. I kept dipping the bread because the flavor stayed satisfying from the first bite to the last. This dish had around 250 calories, which made it light and enjoyable before moving to the next dish. Nothing extra was needed, because the dish was complete as it was. This kashke badimjan was one of the best versions I ever tried compared to the other restaurants. This was lamb sabzi. It sat in a deep black bowl that looked warm and comforting. The service was dark green and glossy, full of finely chopped leafy herbs. Fried onions rested over the top and gave a gentle golden shine. Pieces of zoroshk, which is the dried barberries, and alu bukhara, which is the dried plums, rested between the herbs and meat. The green leafy herbs, onions, and lamb meat formed a thick stew that looked slow-cooked and rich. Fresh dill was scattered on top, which made the bowl smell herbal and homely. Steam rose from the service and showed that the sabzi was served hot. I picked a piece of bread and pressed it softly to the side of the bowl. The bread scooped up lamb meat, green herbs, and some of the dried fruit in one bite. The first bite tasted deep and rich, as the herbs had cooked down into a smooth sauce. The lamb meat was tender and soft, which showed how long it had simmered. The zoroshk gave a little sour touch, and the alu bukhara added a gentle sweetness. Each mouthful felt full of green flavor, from the mix of many leafy vegetables and dill. The fried onions on top added a soft crunch and a warm sweetness to the stew. The taste stayed balanced between sour, sweet, and savory in every bite. This dish had about 390 calories, which made it rich but still comfortable to finish. I took another piece of bread with sabzi, and it felt very Persian in its flavor and spirit. The last part of the dish stayed just as warm and comforting as the first, and I would definitely order it again. This is lamb qima. It was served in a warm clay bowl that held a deep red color. A gentle shine covered the service, which showed how slowly it had been cooked. Chopped potatoes rested on top and added a soft golden touch. Yellow peas sat through the stew and made it look comforting and full. Sliced dried lime added a dark tone that made the colors stand out. Barberries brought small red dots that gave the plate a classic Persian look. Steam rose softly, which showed how hot and fresh the dish was. Everything looked rich and inviting from the very first moment. I used a spoon to move a small portion to my plate before taking my first bite with bread. A piece of meat was picked up with the bread, which made the bite full and balanced. A strong warm flavor came forward and stayed through each bite. Tender meat broke apart easily, which made it feel slow cooked and delicious. Peas added a gentle thickness that blended smoothly with the sauce. A soft sour note from the dried lime added depth without making the flavor sharp. Potatoes softened the taste in a pleasant way, so everything connected naturally. More bread was used after that, and each scoop held a different mix of meat, peas, and sauce. Every part of the stew tasted balanced, which made it easy to enjoy slowly. This dish carried around 430 calories, which made it rich but still comfortable to finish. The warmth stayed until the last bite, which made the whole plate feel complete and satisfying. This is mahija. It arrived in a deep bowl filled with a warm tomato stew that looked rich and comforting. A large piece of lamb shank sat gently in the center and carried a soft shine from the sauce. Potatoes rested beside it and added a soft golden color to the plate. Small barberries were scattered across the stew and brought a bright red touch to the dish. Steam rose slowly, which showed that it was served hot and full of flavor. White rice drizzled with chopped dill sat next to the bowl and gave a fresh balance to the richer stew. The whole plate looked traditional and generous, which made it very inviting. The stew lifted gently with the meat, which showed how tender the lamb meat was. The flavor came out strong and rich, which matched the warmth of the tomato base. The rice softened the taste in a pleasant way and made each bite feel balanced. The meat carried a soft texture that felt slow-cooked and comforting. Barberries added a mild sour note that blended well with the deep sauce. Potatoes stayed firm, but soft enough to mix smoothly with the rice. I continued eating, and the mixture tasted satisfying with every bite. I mixed the meat, potato, sauce, and rice together and kept eating with a spoon. The flavors blended beautifully, which made the dish even more enjoyable. Everything worked well together without feeling heavy or overwhelming. This dish had about 960 calories, which made it a rich and filling choice for a main dish. Each bite stayed warm and flavorful until the end. This is the Sultani kebab. It came with two generous skewers that filled the plate in a beautiful way. Bark kebab rested on one side in long soft strips that showed the saffron and onion marinade. Kolbeh kebab sat beside it in a darker shade, which made the dish look very appetizing. Saffron rice was placed in the center, and the color looked warm under the light. Barberries added small red dots across the rice, which made the whole plate brighter. A small piece of butter rested on top and melted slowly into the grains. A grilled tomato sat in one corner, and the onion mix stood on the other side. I took the first bite using a spoon, with rice and bark kebab together. The softness of the meat mixed with the warm saffron rice in a very smooth way. Barberries added a light sour taste that lifted the flavor without making it heavy. I used the spoon again for the next bite, which brought rice, butter, and barberries together. The mixture felt rich but balanced, because each part blended softly with the other. I started mixing everything on the plate, so the butter melted deeper into the rice. Spoon and fork were used together after that, which helped gather more meat and rice in every bite. The Kolbeh kebab added a deeper flavor that worked well with the sweetness of the grilled tomato. Mixing the grilled tomato into the rice made the taste warmer and richer. The bark kebab stayed tender, which showed how well it was marinated. The Kolbeh kebab stayed juicy, which made the texture feel more comforting. I tasted the meat by itself, and the spices came through very clearly. I ate more rice with the barberries, and it kept the plate bright and enjoyable. The last bite of the grilled tomato gave a smoky finish that completed the dish. The dish carried around 1500 calories, which made it filling but still easy to enjoy. I ended the plate slowly, because each bite stayed warm, rich, and very satisfying. This is lamb Kolbeh. The plate arrived with a long skewer of minced lamb meat, resting on a bed of saffron rice. Barberries or zeroshk were scattered across the top like small red jewels. A soft piece of butter sat gently on the rice and started to melt into the grains. White onion slices waited on one side and gave the dish a fresh and simple look. Grill marks on the Kolbeh kebab showed where the meat had touched the open fire. Steam rose slowly from the rice and meat, which made the whole plate feel warm and comforting. The smell of grilled lamb meat, saffron, and a light smokiness came together in a very rich way. I took my first bite with a spoon of rice and Kolbeh kebab together. The rice felt soft and fluffy, while the lamb meat tasted tender and rich at the same time. Juice from the lamb meat mixed with the saffron, which made the bite feel full and satisfying. I used the spoon again to lift more rice with barberries and a bit of the melted butter. The barberries added a gentle sour note that balanced the richness of the lamb meat and butter. Onion pieces were mixed with the rice and lamb meat, which added a light sharpness that enhanced the flavor of the dish. The grilled tomato stayed on the side this time, while I focused on the lamb meat, rice, and onion. Each bite kept the same juicy and smoky feeling without becoming too heavy. Spices in the Kolbeh kebab supported the flavor of the lamb meat instead of hiding it, which made the taste feel very Persian. This dish carried around 1200 calories, so it felt rich but still light enough to enjoy it slowly. And every bite stayed warm, tender, and deeply satisfying. This is juji kebab. It arrived on a long platter that carried soft saffron rice and a bright skewer of grilled chicken. Golden grains rested gently under the barberries, which gave the plate a warm shine. Small pieces of butter softening slowly on the top of the rice as the heat rose from beneath. Steam drifted upward and showed how fresh the dish was. The chicken looked juicy, with a deep saffron color that felt rich and comforting. A grilled tomato sat on the side and brought a warm smoky touch to the plate. Onion slices added a gentle sharpness that balanced the sweetness of the rice. The first bite was chicken with rice, which tasted warm and full of saffron. I lifted another spoon of rice and let the butter melt through it, which made the grains soft and smooth. A small taste of chicken came next, and I used bread only to test the flavor of the chicken by itself. Spoon and fork were used together after that to cut the chicken into small pieces. The chicken felt tender and juicy, which showed how well it was grilled. I tried the rice again and mixed it gently with the onion, which added a soft brightness to the bite. Rice touched the meat, and the flavors blended naturally in a way that felt very balanced. Barberries added a small sour lift, which made the chicken taste even richer. I combined everything slowly, so the rice, onion, chicken, and the melted butter came together in one warm mix. Each bite felt comforting and full of flavor without feeling heavy. The chicken held its juice and stayed tender in every bite. I tasted the mix again, and it carried the same warmth and softness through the whole plate. This dish carried around 840 calories, so it felt filling but still light enough to enjoy it slowly. I continued eating the mix of chicken and rice, and each spoon kept the same gentle and satisfying taste. The plate stayed warm until the end, which made the whole meal feel complete and enjoyable. This is kunafa ice cream. The wooden platter arrived with the 3 small kunafa nests placed neatly in a row. Each nest looked golden and light, which made the whole dessert appear delicate. 2 of the nests were filled with soft cream that sat gently inside the crunchy layers. The middle nest carried a scoop of saffron ice cream that looked smooth and bright. A light drizzle of fudge ran across the tops, which made everything shine softly. I used the fork and moved it toward the nest filled with saffron ice cream. The first bite came with the cold ice cream resting over the warm kunafa strands. I tasted it, and the mouthfeel felt light and crunchy at the same time. I took another bite from the same nest because the saffron flavor came through clearly. The sweetness stayed soft and balanced, which made each bite gentle and comforting. I moved to the cream-filled nest, and the texture changed in a pleasant way. The cream added a smooth layer that mixed well with the crisp kunafa. I tasted it again, and the contrast between the cream and the crunch felt very satisfying. The dessert stayed light from beginning to end, which made it easy to enjoy slowly. I continued eating, and each bite held the same sweetness and gentle crunch. The combination of cream, saffron ice cream, and kunafa created a warm and rich flavor. Every bite carried a soft sweetness that never felt too heavy. This portion had around 420 calories, which made it balanced enough to enjoy after a full meal. I ended the dessert feeling the same light crunch that made the first bite so enjoyable. This is saffron creme brulee. It arrived in a warm clay plate that carried a shiny layer of caramelized sugar on top, sprinkled gently with crushed pistachios. A scoop of saffron ice cream sat in the center, which added a bright color to the whole dessert. I moved the spoon toward the service and heard a soft crack as it broke through the caramel. That moment already told me how delicate the texture would be underneath. I tasted my first bite on its own, without any of the ice cream, so I could understand the base flavor clearly. It felt soft and creamy, which made the spoon go through it easily. Hints of vanilla appeared slowly and gave every bite a warm and gentle flavor. I liked how the cold temperature balanced the richness because it made the dessert feel smooth instead of heavy. The ice cream on top was slightly colder, which added another layer of comfort to the experience. I started mixing both together after those first bites, so I could enjoy the full combination. That mix brought out the saffron even more, which made every spoonful feel sweeter and deeper. I kept taking slow bites, so I could feel how the caramel, creme brulee, and ice cream blended into one creamy flavor. It felt like the dessert softened with each spoonful, which made it very easy to enjoy. I noticed the portion was medium, which made the experience satisfying without being too much. I liked how the pistachios added little texture, so the bites did not feel flat. There was a comfort in every moment of it, so the dessert stayed interesting until the end. Each bite tasted slightly different, which kept the experience warm and uplifting. I finished the last bites with everything mixed, because it created the richest flavor of all. This dessert carried around 390 calories, which made it feel indulgent but not overwhelming. This is Laban Iran. A medium portion sat in front of me with a calm, creamy look. I stirred it gently so the mint on top could melt into the drink. The flavor carried that light sour note that I always expect from a good yogurt drink. It was creamy in a simple and refreshing way, and mint added a soft aroma without taking over the flavor. I took a sip through the straw, and the drink felt balanced from the start. Salt was not strong, and yogurt stayed smooth, so every sip felt easy on my taste. There was no ice in the glass, which kept the body of the drink thicker and more natural. The portion tasted clean, just pure yogurt and mint. That made it traditional and comforting. I kept sipping slowly, and medium richness made it feel steady and not too heavy. This cup carried around 110 calories, which kept it light enough to enjoy during the meal. I liked how it refreshed my mouth. It stayed balanced from the first sip until the last moment I tried it. This is the saffron mojito. A yellow icy drink sat in front of me, with mint leaf resting gently on top. Light citrus aromas came up slowly, so it felt refreshing before I even tasted it. I stirred it first with the straw, so everything mixed together in a smooth way. The first sip came through with a saffron flavor that made the icy texture very naturally. Lime and citrus were also balanced, which made the sweetness and acidity feel just right. I kept sipping it with the straw, and each sip stayed cold and refreshing. It felt medium in portion, so I enjoyed it slowly without feeling heavy. The drink had a bright flavor that stayed consistent from start to finish. The saffron mojito carried around 70 calories, so it felt light and easy to enjoy. It was a refreshing drink with a clean finish and a smooth citrus taste that stayed gently in my mouth. The price of kashke bedimjan is 24 Saudi Riyal. The price of lamb qima is 38 Saudi Riyal. The price of lamb sabzi is 38 Saudi Riyal. The price of sultani kebab is 89 Saudi Riyal. The price of lamb kobede is 48 Saudi Riyal. The price of juji kebab is 46 Saudi Riyal. The price of mahija is 72 Saudi Riyal. The price of kunafa ice cream is 28 Saudi Riyal. The price of saffron creme brulee is 32 Saudi Riyal. The price of Laban Iran is 16 Saudi Riyal. The price of saffron mojito is 15 Saudi Riyal. The total plus the value added tax, which is 15%, is 321.39 Saudi Riyal. The food carried a deep Persian identity, and each plate showed careful cooking and balanced flavor in a way that felt honest and traditional. Every dish arrived warm and comforting, which made the meal flow smoothly from starters to the last bite of dessert. Kashke badimjan came soft and smoky. Lamb sabzi felt rich and herbal, and the grilled blades tasted juicy and tender without any heaviness. Rice stayed fluffy. Barberries added brightness, and every bite carried a touch of saffron or dill that made the meal feel complete. These details made the whole dining experience stand out, so the food deserved a full 5 out of 5. Service stayed warm and thoughtful from the moment we stepped inside, and continued through the whole visit. Staff greeted us kindly, explained dishes with confidence, and checked on the table in a polite and natural way. Plates arrived at the right time, which kept everything fresh and enjoyable without any wait. Their attention added comfort to the meal and supported the Persian atmosphere gently around us, so the service reached 5 out of 5. Atmosphere felt calm and deeply cultural with warm colors, soft light, and textures that reflected Persian heritage in every corner. Carpets above the tables added character, wall art gave a sense of story, and the clay oven brought a homely feeling to the space. Each detail worked together to create a quiet escape from the city, which made the dining space memorable and relaxing. This balance of color, warmth, and charm made the atmosphere worthy of 5 out of 5. Parking was manageable in the area and easy enough to access without stress, which supported the visit comfortably. Wheelchair access felt possible through the ground level entrance, which helped make the experience smoother for different customers. The whole visit ended with a warm feeling because everything from food to service and space worked beautifully together. So this was my experience today at Kolbeh restaurant. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. And just remember, each bite tells a story. See you in the next one. Bye.